Because don't get me wrong, South Africa wasn't perfect, but it wasn't like this. 2010 had us in a different feeling. We had a rhythm, we had a plan. And then all of a sudden, it fell apart. Now we're looking at each other with shifty eyes, separated. The Guptas did a good job. People are angry, and I understand why, But sometimes I think people's anger gets out of hand, Like I saw people fighting because the Guptas had a wedding at Sun City. And at that wedding, they only hired white people to serve them. And people were like, they're racist, they're racist. Okay, maybe they're racist. Or maybe the Guptas are doing what every black person dreams of doing when they get enough money. And that is hiring white people to work for you. Which black man in this audience can't say he doesn't remember the first time he went to a restaurant and he was sitting there? Some white guy came up to the table. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Can I help you with anything? Oh, yeah, we're just waiting for the waiter. You can send him over. No, gents, my name's Johnny. I'm going to be serving you guys today. Oh, you're the waiter. You are the guy serving us. That's correct, Alex. Oh, wow, look at that. Well, in that case, Johnny, let's start with the specials menu, please. Just rattle it off. All right, guys, we've got a carpaccio on the menu, really fantastic. We've also got a seafood salad that's really impeccable. On the dessert side, the chef is doing something different with the creme brulee. And then our special lionfish of the day is going to be a hake, lightly grilled. Okay, thank you very much. Just give us a moment to chat about it and we'll see. See you in a bit, Johnny. All right, thank you very much, guys. Hey, can you believe it? Yeah? Can you believe it? On my beck and call. Watch this. Johnny. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Nothing. Carry on. This is power. For instance, the thing you drink, I call that water. Yes, water. In American, you say water, right? Water. Yeah, I say water because there's a T in the word, right? The glass you see yourself in every morning, I refer to that as a mirror, yeah, right? In American, you say a mirror, right? A mirror, yeah, which is not the same thing to me. A mirror is the glass. A mirror is a Middle Eastern man. Very different experience. It's not the same thing. And that's just pronunciation, right? You also have to learn the meanings of words that you already knew when you moved to America. For instance, where I'm from, there's a garment that men commonly wear under their shirts. It's white and it's sleeveless. Yeah? Where I'm from, we refer to this as a vest, okay? I've now learned in American, it is known as a wife beater. Yeah, I have so many questions. And so the best and worst experience I had learning American happened to me when I first moved to the US. I lived in California, in Pasadena, when I first came to the United States, right? And the reason I lived in Pasadena is because that's where I knew my first American friend, a guy by the name of David Meyer. He came to South Africa to film a documentary. We became the best of friends. And one day we were hanging out in Dave's apartment. And Dave's chilling on his beanbag. And he looks over at me and he's like, Trevor, dude, I don't know about you right now, but I'm starving. I said, I think you mean you're hungry, Dave. I said, what? I said, it doesn't matter. What do you want to eat? So you know what I'm craving right now, man? I'm craving tacos. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do it, man. Let's go to tacos. What? Isn't that the restaurant you're craving? Tacos? Are you being serious right now? You've never had tacos? I said, no, I don't know what tacos is. You've never had tacos? My answer hasn't changed from now, Dave. No. I've never had tacos. You've never had tacos? And by the way, I hate it when people do that. You know when people ask you the same question over and over again because they can't believe you haven't had the exact same life experience? You know that thing people do? Like with everything, they'll be like, oh my God, have you heard the new Beyonce? No, I have. You haven't heard the new Beyonce? No, I have. You haven't heard the new Beyonce? Oh no, now I have. No, I'd never had tacos, right? I'd never had tacos because in South Africa, we don't really have Mexican food, okay? We don't have Mexican food because we don't have Mexicans. They never came over. It's not my fault. Dave was personally offended. I'll never forget, he jumped up and he was like, dude, I cannot believe you've been in America all this time and you've never had tacos? I said, Dave, why is it such a big deal? He's like, because, Trevor, nothing says America like tacos. I said, really? Nothing says America like Mexican food? And you know what's funny is I feel like in that moment, I feel like Dave was being profound. He didn't even realize it, but that was a profound little nugget that he had just espoused. Nothing says America like tacos. I've had the privilege of traveling everywhere in this beautiful country. I've been to places like Erie, Pennsylvania, El Paso, Texas, Honolulu, Hawaii, you know. I've been everywhere, and one thing I've learned across the board in America is that Americans love tacos. Everywhere you go, Americans love tacos. Love tacos. Even people you wouldn't expect. I was watching the news one day, and there was a guy at a rally, right? And they were asking him about immigration and families being separated, etc. And this guy, like, regardless of his politics, like, he was being really mean and xenophobic and racist, you know, just acting real presidential. And the journalist asked him about children, and he just went straight, and he was like, boy, I'll tell you what, I don't give a damn about any of these goddamn Mexicans, you heard? They came over here, they ain't supposed to be here, boy. Woo! It's our country now, you heard? That's right, boy, go back to where you came from. Woo! These Mexicans ain't done nothing good, they ain't brought nothing good to America, we don't need y'all. Come on, Bubba, it's Taco Tuesdays. Get out of here, but leave the recipes. I feel like there should be a rule in America. They should say, you can hate immigrants all you want, but if you do, you don't get to eat their food. Yeah? That's a fair exchange for me. You hate immigrants, no immigrant food. And when I say no immigrant food, I mean no immigrant food, nothing. No Mexican food, no Caribbean food, no Dominican food, no Asian food, nothing. Only potatoes. And I'm not even saying like flavored potatoes, I'm just saying plain potatoes. No spice. Because no immigrants, no spice. Don't ever forget that. Both figuratively and literally, no spice. And I know some people would take that, I know. I know there's some people right now who'd be like, well, you know what, Trevor, take your immigrants, take your spice, and get the hell out of here. You say that now. Because you've never lived a life without spice. But don't ever forget, a life without spice was so hard, that it made white people sail around the world to find it. And like, this wasn't regular sailing. This wasn't like a Disney cruise. These people sailed at a time when they believed if you went that way, you would fall off the edge of the earth and die. And still, some man out there was eating some white lady's cooking, and he was like, I can't do this shit anymore. I'm sailing that way. But what if you die? At least it's exciting. No immigrants, no spice. And definitely no tacos. And I know my friend Dave would never allow that. I've never seen him so passionate. He got up, he gave me a speech about tacos like he was the heir to a taco dynasty. He finally turned to me, he's like, Trevor, as your friend and as an American, I'm gonna make sure that you get tacos if it's the last thing I ever do. I was like, why don't we just go now, Dave? He's like, that'll work. You know my favorite part of any conversation is when people think you're gonna argue with them, but you agree, and they've already chosen anger. Because nobody just changes their tone. Everyone has to stick in the anger for a while because they think it makes them seem less crazy. Like, it happens in relationships all the time. You'll have a fight that's not a fight. You know, just be like, God damn it, Karen. Every time I ask for your support, you're not there for me and it hurts me sometimes. You know what, Bob? I'm sorry. No, don't try and thank you very much. I didn't think you would apologize, and so I chose this tone, and now I feel like an idiot. I'm going to leave the room and reset. I wasn't going to fight. I want to have tacos. Let's go get tacos, Dave. And so we rolled together, jumped into the car. And so we drove for about 20 minutes, right, to what I thought was going to be a restaurant. Instead, Dave pulls over into an abandoned parking lot. Kills the engine, looks over at me and goes, all right, dude, we're here. I was like, where? At my murder scene? I was like, no, dude, we're getting tacos over there. And he points, and in the corner of the parking lot was a truck. Right? A food truck, yeah, which I've now learned is quite common in America. In fact, some of the best food you'll find at a food truck. But at that moment in time, you have to forgive me, I was a little bit apprehensive. Okay? Yeah, I just wasn't quite comfortable with the idea of getting my food from an establishment that would not be there the next day. I feel like there's a certain level of accountability that comes with permanence. Dave was adamant, though. He's like, dude, you gotta get it from a truck, dude. That's how you know it's real. I was like, all right, well, let's just get this over with. Let's do it. So I hop out of the car, walk up to the truck. And it was definitely a taco truck, because there's a sign above it flashing that read, tacos. 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 And by the way, weird piece of trivia about me as a person. I hate signs that flash but don't change. Yeah, I always feel like a sign shouldn't be allowed to flash unless it intermittently changes to some other information. Otherwise, I think that's wasted suspense. It should be illegal. Because it always catches my eye, and then I wait for something else, like tacos, and tacos. And what else? Tacos. Anything else? Tacos. Just stay on tacos! Anyway, now I'm irritated. I walk up to the truck, and as I get there, this little dude pops out, and he was in a completely different mood to me. You could tell. He just puffed his head. I was like, hey, how you doing, man? You want some tacos? I said, it would be awkward if we didn't. He says, what? Oh, yeah, of course, man, of course. But you never know. Maybe you want something else, yeah? I said, what else do you have, my friend? He said, no, nothing, man. It's a taco truck. I said, thank you. Thank you. That's a moment of my life I'll never get back. Thank you very much. I said, no, calmate, man. I'm just staying, you know. I don't want to waste your time. You want tacos? Let's do tacos. How many tacos you want, my friend? I said, well, I don't know how many tacos to get, sir. I've never had tacos before. He said, you've never had tacos? I said, no, I have. You've never had tacos? I was like, you should meet my friend Dave. Because, I'm not going to order food when I don't know what it is, okay? I don't know what the quantities are. I don't know what tacos are. I don't know what taco is. I don't know what taco be, okay? What do you say? How many do you get? Because just now I'm going to be like, give me 5. What if tacos like little pigs or something? I'm like, give me 5. Next thing I'm walking home with this, wee. And that's how I started my farm. Like, I have no clue what these things are. So I'm like, yo, man, I just want to try the food. Just give me enough to try. He's like, okay, you're just trying it out. 2 tacos is enough, my friend. I said, okay, then give me 2 tacos. He's like, 2 tacos, coming up. Guy goes to the back, starts preparing the food. I have no clue what's coming out. Comes back a few minutes later. He's like, hey, my friend, your tacos are ready. I said, thank you, man. Thank you very much. He's like, yeah, you want a napkin? I said, I'm sorry, what? I said, do you want a napkin? And now, LA. This is where it gets weird for me. Because you see, where I'm from, napkins are the things babies wear to hold their shits. The thing for your mouth we call a serviette. But I didn't know that, so at this point, this man had just turned to me, offered me food, and then said, you want a napkin? I said, I'm sorry, I'm confused. Why would I want a napkin?
So you know, man, for the mess afterwards. I said, for the mess. How instant is it that I need a napkin? I said, hey, man, you never know with tacos, man. 1 minute you think you got it, the next thing is coming out. I said, that sounds like the most disgusting thing I've ever heard in my life. He's like, no, it's part of the experience. Everybody does it, man. You make a mess, you clean up, you come back and try again, you know? I said, all right, that's an experience I don't want to have. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to skip it. He's like, so you're not going to try my food? I said, okay, I'll try the food, but I'm not going to take the napkin, man. He said, so what are you going to do? I said, well, if it's as crazy as you say it is, I'll just eat the taco in the car on the way home. He's like, oh, you think you're safe. But you're going to be driving. Somebody swerves, you hit the brakes, splat, it's coming out. Don't be a hero, man. Just take the napkin. I said, all right, I'm not being a hero right now. I'm just being a grown-ass man, okay? Like, if it gets really bad, I'll just squeeze super tight till I get to where I'm going. He's like, yeah, that's the problem. Some people, they don't know. They squeeze it too tight, then the juice comes spraying out even more. It can spray on your pants and on your shirt and all. I'm like, oh, my shirt? How the hell did shit get all the way up to my shirt? What is this, bouncing on the ground and ricocheting back up? What the hell is in this, man? He's like, hey, man, you want that napkin or not? I said, I don't even know what your tacos right now, dude. So much stress. Now I love tacos. That he's president of the most powerful nation in the world. But I also must admit, I wake up many days knowing he's going to make me laugh. Yeah, there's terror and there's joy, and I don't know how to feel. You know what it feels like sometimes? It feels like there's a giant asteroid headed towards the Earth, but it's shaped like a penis. Like, I think I'm going to die, but I know I'm going to laugh. Because you just look at everything that he does. The world we now live in because of him. Like, you realize we're living through history. You know, this will never happen in our lifetimes again. We're living through a time when we're all learning about the presidency at the same time as the president. That's never happened. How wild is that concept? You wake up every day reading the news and you're like, wow, I didn't know that. And somewhere at that exact same moment, he's reading the same news going, wow, me too. And nobody knows where it's going to lead. Nobody knows what he's going to do. All we know is that he wants his wall. He wants his wall. Donald Trump wants his wall. He needs $25 billion the last time he asked. He needs it from American taxpayers because Mexico is smart. That fell apart real quick. I remember how confident he was at the rallies, people cheering for him. He was like, folks, we're gonna build a wall. We're gonna build a wall, folks. Who's gonna pay? Mexico. And Mexico was like, we ain't paying for shit, man. We might build it, but we're not gonna pay for it, man. And I don't know if you've been following The Journey of the Wall, but it's probably the best comedy on TV, right? Because now they've started building prototypes of the wall at the border, right? Because Donald Trump said he wants them to test the wall first. I don't know how you do that. You know, it's just like, try again. And because this is the prototypes, Donald Trump now has specifications for the wall. He now says he wants the wall to be made out of concrete, but he also needs the wall to be see-through, right? And the reason the president wants the wall to be see-through is because he said he's afraid that drug dealers from Mexico are going to shoot bags of drugs over the wall and it's going to hit Americans on the head as they walk by. So he needs the wall to be see-through so that Americans can see the drugs coming and catch it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what a see-through wall is, but at this point, I'm just worried that a contractor's gonna come along and trick the president. He's gonna take him to the border and be like, there it is, Mr. Trump, your invisible wall. And then just to make sure he buys it, he's gonna hire a troupe of Mexican mimes just to be like, oh my God, you can't get through it. It works. Like the mind of Donald Trump. Oh, the other idea he had for the wall was he said America should build the wall out of solar panels. That's what he said. He said America should build the wall out of solar panels because that way the wall would generate electricity and pay for itself. Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's a good idea, right? It's a good idea. Unless you know anything about solar panels or the sun or walls. Because the problem with that idea is that the sun is up, yeah? We'll agree on that, we're still on the same page there, yeah? The sun is up, all right? A solar panel wall is not gonna work because a wall is like this. So technically it's facing down. So unless you have like a really swaggy sun that's like, yeah, I shine real low, babe, it's not gonna work for you. The only way it works is if you take your border solar panel and lean it at an angle to get the sun's rays. But if you do that, now you've just created a giant ramp for Mexicans to shoot into America. It's like, órale! The mind of Donald J. Trump. The J stands for Jesus. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, a lot of self-loathing going on there. And he's always going after someone, right? He's always going after someone. If it's not Mexicans, it's Muslims. If it's not Muslims, it's Africans from shithole countries. And that one was my favorite personally, because I am an African and I've shat in a hole.